Top or no top?
Huh?
Top or no top?
I guess in the tarp. What do you think? When you do like the step-by-step ID, where would it say you are? We are heading south now on the Hayduke Trail, and a little more than a month ago, we started this 800-mile hike in Arches National Park, Utah. Since then, we have gone through Canyonlands, Capitol Reef, Escalante, and Bryce Canyon, not to mention all the little spaces in between, which in many ways are more interesting than the big popular names most would recognize. It's been a big whirlwind, but at the same time, every day out here has been so unique, it's all deeply ingrained in my memory still. No filler, no wasted time. This route is nothing but amazing every day. So much so, it would be extremely difficult to forget. Hello, snake friend. What are you doing in this tight little narrow corner where all the hikers go through? Not really a good place for you. Pretty little snake. So right now, we're deviating from our western direction across the state of Utah to head south towards Arizona, and south to head deep into the Grand Canyon, where we will be hiking more than 200 miles within it. They say that's the hardest part of this entire route. Given the high heat in May, the strange route through the park, and the strict, extensive permits we had to get to do it at all. Either way, getting this far hasn't been easy, and has hopefully prepared us for what's to come. In the meantime, however, we actually have a fairly relaxed bit of trail coming before the weird continues. We walk through a part of Buckskin Gulch and the Wire Pass, both very popular areas for day hiking, and both absolutely spectacular. I've actually been to this area a few times before even. I've been here a couple of times just for day hiking, and I've also been here once after finishing my through hike of the Arizona Trail. So from Buckskin Gulch and from the Wire Pass trailhead, we then cross the Utah-Arizona border and we hop on the Arizona National Scenic Trail for about 60 miles before getting to the canyon. I don't think anyone's ever said the AZT is an easy hike, but fortunately for us, by comparison, it should feel more like a highway than anything else. It isn't that way, but given what we've had to do along the Hayduke, it's going to feel that way. It's well maintained, it has good signage, it's nicely graded with switchbacks. There are recent water reports for every little possible source that could exist, and there are plenty of other people around. It's one of the best long-distance trails in the United States, and it's cool that our hike intersects it for a brief time. For once, our walking will be easy, at least for just a couple of days. I think the Arizona Trail is worth a look. It is most certainly one of the most premier through hikes in the entire country, and if you even sort of like the desert, if you like getting some miles, if you like seeing some weird animals and a lot of weird plants, the AZT should be right up your alley. So that was a bit of Buckskin Gulch and the Wire Pass Slot Canyon. And now next stop, the Arizona Trail, the Arizona-Utah state line. It's gonna be fun to see some AZT hikers, because we travel south on the AZT for maybe like 40 miles. Yeah, very interesting. Kind of scared to run into so many groups of through hikers since we've only seen like 4 total in like 500 miles. Wow, good lizard. Wow. Leaving Utah, entering Arizona. Cool. So the Hayduke shares about 60 miles of trail with the Arizona Trail, the Arizona National Scenic Trail, which runs from the Mexico border all the way across Arizona, 800 miles to the Utah border. I did the AZT in 2021 and I absolutely loved it. And being back here just brings back like such fond memories. And it reminds me that, you know, the AZT is just one of the best trails in the United States. I think it's, as such a young trail, hasn't really been around the longest time. I kind of feel like it's the gold standard for all like newer trails coming up. All of the amazing signage they have everywhere, made out of this beautiful, like, I don't know, just bronze metal. All the little communities are just so on board with this trail being here, and all these hikers coming through, and just every little tiny thing the Arizona Trail Association has done is just like perfection. You know, there's trails way older than this that are many decades behind what the AZTA has done. So just being here is perfect. The trail is great, it's maintained, it's perfectly graded. Everything about the AZT is wonderful. So happy to be back for about 60 miles hiking south before we head off in a very strange direction to enter the Grand Canyon in just a couple days from now. So these are my shoes after 530 miles. The insole is like deteriorating, so every step feels like I'm stepping on a rock on my heel. Inside the heel, not so great. Got a nice hole in here for airflow and for sand, and the tread is like pretty much gone. Normally I feel like these shoes on a typical trail would last like 700 miles, but on the Hayduke I wanted to replace them after less than 400. I was like, yep, this would be nice. Nothing wrong with these shoes, it's just this trail is a rough trail, I think. Anyway, new shoes, wow, wonderful. It's gonna feel so good walking around. So we went into Jacob Lake for the night. For the Arizona Trail hikers, it's not really like an essential town stop, because at that point you're basically like 25 miles from the end. But for the Hayduke hiker, it's a pretty essential town stop, at least to get to the highway to hitch to a different town for most people. But we picked up, I don't know, anywhere between 5 or 6 days of food. I'm not sure exactly how much we have, because we are entering the Grand Canyon very soon. So just a quick kind of in and out overnight, get nice and clean, pick up our food, and then move on to the Grand Canyon. I think we have about 2 days of walking to get to the rim, to get to the Nankoweap trailhead, which is quite a bit east of the Kaibab Trail and like the North Rim with the lodge and all that stuff. We're not gonna be there for a while. So 2 days of walking to get to the rim, and then I think we spend maybe 4 days below the rim, hiking along the Colorado River, walking along the different rock layers, and we're both very excited for it. It's supposed to be extremely hot, which we'll find out. Maybe it won't be so bad. This whole trail we've been hiking, we haven't really changed up any gear, but for this one section, for the very end of this hike, the final like 200 miles we have left to go, we have both picked up sun umbrellas. So we are expecting the Grand Canyon to be hot, the hottest part of this whole hike. So hopefully that'll help us to stay in the shade, stay cool, take nice breaks under our umbrellas, even when there aren't trees around. So very excited for the canyon and excited to be walking around with some fun new umbrellas. We're almost to the Grand Canyon. Can you believe it? You can.
Yeah.
Well.
You see it?
Oh, you can see it. It's right here, you say? The whole Grand Canyon. So for us, the Grand Canyon now beckons. Up here on the Kaibab Plateau, which we are walking across, we are at about 9,000 feet of elevation, and it's below freezing at night, as is evident by all the frost on the ground, the frost surrounding our tarp. But soon we'll be down by the Colorado River, down at the bottom of the Grand Canyon, and temperatures will be well above 110 degrees for the entire duration of our time in the park. Quite the dichotomy between the top of the rim and the bottom of the ditch. I've been to the Grand Canyon much more than a handful of times before, but now I'm excited to get to experience the park a lot more fully than I ever have before. We have made it to the Grand Canyon, the grandest canyon of them all. And now we definitely know that because this entire trail's been through canyons, and looking at this, it really, all those other ones really feel like very, 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 very small by comparison. Grand Canyon National Park. We're dropping in, I think in the next 9 miles, we descend 6,000 feet. So we are on the Nankoweap Trail heading down, and they say it's the hardest trail in the Grand Canyon that actually has a name. You know, if you want to get harder than this, then it's a route, an unnamed, unmaintained, whatever. But yeah, super excited. It's been a while since I've been here. Me and Sprocket came here in 2022. We went to both the South and the North Rim. And now we get to do that a whole bunch of times because we're gonna cross the Grand Canyon like 2.5 times, 3 times. I don't know, but very exciting. Super exciting.